Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Rohan Finbus. In today's video, I'm going to explain how I read the charts and what elements of price action I consider while making a decision whether I'm going to buy the stock or sell the stock. I'll explain the price action concepts with the help of DLF's daily chart. Let's go to the trading view and analyze the chart, and I'll explain how I made decision to buy the stock. I selected DLF daily chart and I placed the line chart. We can clearly see over here that there is a trend line resistance which DLF faced, wherein it went down whenever it touched this trend line resistance and it fell down. We can also observe that the stock had a support in this range, and that range is around 340. Whenever the stock touched 314, there was a demand and the stock went up. You can also see there are some smaller resistances which I will mark with the dashed line. So this is how I would first mark my resistances and support. Then I put the candlestick chart. You can clearly observe that the stock took support whenever it touched 340 zone. So I can enter into the stock when it touched 314. However, is it enough to know that the stock touched 340 and I should enter? The answer is no. There are some elements that I consider before making a decision. For instance, you can see over here that stock touched the support zone and formed a bullish hammer. So this particular candle is known as a bullish hammer candle. This gives me a confirmation that there is a buying pressure in this stock and I would be safe if I buy over here. But if I buy over here, what should be my stop loss? My stop loss I would keep here at 340. If on any day DLF closes below 340, I would exit this stock. But let's say you want to be safe and you do not want to take a risk just by entering into the stock at the support zone and you want a further confirmation. What can you do? So the stock went up from here, right, and it touched this particular trend line resistance and it took a resistance over here and it further went down and went up. I can mark this trend line resistance over here, and whenever the prices breach this particular resistance, I can take an entry over here. Why take an entry over here? Once this particular resistance gets breached, there is absolutely no resistance, at least till this next trend line resistance of 410. I can easily make around 10% by simply observing the supply and demand, right? Now, what is the guarantee that this particular breakout that we have seen over here is a true breakout? It can so happen that it could be a false breakout. What I do normally is that I look at some of the indicators. Normally I don't look at the indicators, but there are some indicators I normally use. One among them is the money flow index. Now you will get to know about what money flow index is all about if you search in Google, but in simple words, money flow index is a volume indicator that tries to help us analyze the trading pressure on the stock. So the money flow could be a positive money flow or a negative money flow, and money flow index is calculated by considering both the price and volume. Normally what I do is I draw a similar trend. From here the stock is in a downtrend and facing a resistance over here, right? Similarly, what I do is that I try to draw a trend line, and you can see over here whenever the MFI line touched this trend line resistance, it failed down, right? The price point where the breakout in MFI came, and the breakout in MFI was either on the same day or on the previous day of the breakout in the price. This is a confirmation for me to enter into this trend that this is not a false breakout. This breakout is a true breakout. At the same time, I use another indicator to know the strength of the trend. Now, if I know that the trend has started and I want to understand how strong is this trend, I will use an indicator called as Average Directional Index. This ADX, if this ADX is rising upwards and it goes about 25 level, so I just mark on my chart the 25 level. Whenever the ADX line breaches 25, that tells me that the stock is in a strong trend. As the ADX price moves up, the trend becomes stronger and stronger. You can see over here the price continuously moved up, right? You can see over here the price continuously moved up. I also add moving averages to see whether the moving averages are also giving me a confirmation or not. I typically use 21-day moving average and 50-day moving average. The green line indicates 21-day moving average and the red line indicates 50-day moving average. You can see over here at the same price point, the shorter term moving average, which is the 21-day moving average, crossed above the longer term moving average, which is nothing but the 50-day moving average. This is another confirmation for me to enter into this trend, and I can ride this trend until and unless I get a candle that closes below this band of 21 and 50, and that price point came over here when it closed below the 50-day moving average. I can exit at around 480 while my entry was around 380. I could have made a profit of 26% in a span of hardly 6 months. This is how I normally analyze the chart and make decisions whether to enter into a stock on a long side or on a short side. I hope you found this video informative. Thanks for watching.